All right, let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna start off with 2 tablespoons of butter and 2 tablespoons of olive oil. We're gonna let this cook down, and while we're doing that, we're also gonna add, I'm not using shallots, I'm not using white onion, I'm gonna use scallions. I'm gonna use scallions. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my scallions in there. And I'm also gonna go ahead and put my chopped garlic in there as well. And we're just gonna let this cook down. We're not trying to brown or anything, we're just trying to cook it down and wilt it up a little bit. So stay tuned. Oh, also, I'm gonna reinforce the garlic flavor with the squeezed garlic. Y'all know I love this stuff. That's 1, that's 2. To me, you'll never have enough garlic in risotto. So, we'll go ahead and let this cook down a little bit and we'll be right back. Alright guys, also to this seafood risotto, I'm going to add some shiitake mushrooms. Now you don't have to add this, but mushroom risotto is like a classic. And I actually like the flavor of the mushrooms along with the seafood. So I'm going to go ahead and add those in there. And I'm going to cook this down for probably about 2 minutes. Just try to wilt it up just a little bit. And after that, we'll go in with the risotto. So, be right back. Alright guys, what I have in here is I have 5 cups of chicken stock rather. And then I have the shells from the red shrimp and the jumbo prawns. And I also have my lobster tail in here. And if you watch my fillet and lobster video, same treatment with this lobster tail. I put it in here just to cook through a little bit, halfway. I'm gonna take it out, get it out of the shell, and then put the shell back in here and just let this steep for about 30 minutes. Let the shell steep in here about 30 minutes to try to get all the flavor out of it. So, stay tuned. All right, so I got my lobster out of the lobster tail. As you can see, the lobster tail is right here. So what I'm gonna do is move this out the way. I'm gonna let that steep, like I said, for 30 minutes. This right here is my lobster tail. It's not cooked all the way. All I'm gonna do is slice it up and make, if you want to, you can do nice size thick pieces of lobster, however you wanna do it. However you wanna do it do it just like that. But I'm gonna cut it into some nice dice. And this is gonna cook the rest of the way in that beautiful, hot, delicious risotto. And that's what you wanna do right there. So I'm gonna finish cutting this up and then I'll be back with the next step. All right guys, at this time right here, you could hit it to deglaze the pan. You could hit it with about 4 to 5 tablespoons of white wine. I don't have white wine. Don't really like the taste of white wine in it. So I'm gonna just hit it with a half of lemon, just to add a little bit of citrus to it. Let this kind of deglaze the pan a little bit. I'm gonna turn my heat up just a little bit. And I'm gonna let that go for probably about a minute or so. All right guys, now it's time to add the risotto. And this is the risotto that I'll be using right here. You can pretty much find it in most of your grocery stores. And so I'm gonna be going in with 1.5 cups of risotto. All right, and what you want to do is you want to work it around. You want to make sure you get as much of that oil and butter on this risotto as you can. And I'm gonna let this go for about 2 minutes, and then we'll start ladling in our hot chicken seafood broth, and we'll be on our way to some delicious risotto. So y'all hang in there with me. I'll be right back. Alright guys, it's been about 2 minutes. Now what we want to do is you want to start adding your hot stock. It's got to be hot, no cold stock. And you don't want to add a lot, you just want to add it a little bit at a time. You don't want to flood it. So that's about, I'm gonna keep on stirring it. That's the key to risotto. You have to keep stirring it. Risotto is a very starchy, short grain rice, so you have to continuously stir it once you add the stock to it. So I'm gonna continue to do this, and this is 5 cups of stock. Again, I added the chicken, I added the shrimp shells, lobster shells to it, just to infuse the flavor with a little bit of seafood. And you just want to keep going. So I'm not gonna bore y'all with this. I'm gonna speed through this and bring you back in a minute. Stay tuned. All right, guys, now it's time to add some more stock. Every so often what I do is I go back and put my stock back on the stove. So we're probably 5 minutes in now. And just gonna keep on going. Keep this train moving. And once I add the stock, I put this right back on the stove to keep it hot. The key is the stock must be hot. You wanna keep the stock hot. That's what's gonna cook this risotto. So hang on in there with me. We are almost to the finish line. All right, guys, and while you're sitting here storing this risotto, now might be a good time to pour your little drink. Because trust me, you're going to be here for a good 15 minutes. Cheers. Let you guys get a close-up on it. Look at that. Shiitake mushrooms, onions, garlic. It's the good stuff right there, y'all. You see, as soon as you move it, you see how it's just sucking it back in because it's sucking in all that moisture. It's getting nice and starchy. That's what you're looking for. Yeah, boy. All right, if you see it bubbling up like that a little bit, that's cool. Don't even sweat that. Just work it on in there. At least that lets you know you got some good heat and your rice is cooking. Don't even sweat that. And this, I just want to show y'all, this is what you're looking at. You see how the rice is starting to expand? The risotto is starting to expand now. The longer it cooks, the more filled out this pot is going to get. So don't add a lot of risotto. Remember, it's just like cooking regular rice. It's usually the 2-to-1 method. 2 parts, 1 part this, 2 parts liquid. So just remember that. And we'll be right back. All right, guys, I am 12 minutes in now. I just added a 1/4 cup ladle of hot stock. So now I'm going to start seasoning. And I'm just going to hit it with just a few pinches of salt. This is salt and pepper. And we're just going to let it keep on going. We started off with 5 cups of hot chicken stock, seafood stock, but more than likely we're probably only going to use about 4 of them. But you definitely want to have more on hand if you need it. And so stay tuned. We're still going. We are still rocking and rolling. As you can see, it's still sucking up that moisture. We'll be right back. All right, guys, I'm 15 minutes in. Now I want to start tasting to see if it's ready. It's not there yet. So what do? Keep adding our stock. And I'm gonna let it go for another 5 minutes. All right, I think I need a few more dashes of pepper and a little more salt. We'll let it keep it rocking and rolling. Yeah, boy. All right, guys, I just added my last cup of broth, a stock rather. So now that I have my last cup of stock in there, I tasted it. It's almost there, pretty much a little bit over al dente. I'm gonna go ahead and start adding my seafood. This is my lobster meat that I cut up into cubes. Okay. I'll add that. And then this is my beautiful, I have some Argentinian red shrimp, and I also have some white prawns in here as well. And yes, I still have the little hook on there. So I'm gonna add those to it, and I'm just gonna start stirring it in there real nice and let that cook through. And it should take me about 5 minutes and we should be ready to go. So I'll show y'all what the final plate looks like. Just hang on. Appreciate y'all hanging on in there with me. And we are almost done. Yes, sir. Oh, and before I forget, we're also gonna add like a 1/4 of a cup of some frozen green peas. Totally optional. You don't have to add this, but I kind of like it in a risotto. So stay tuned. All right, guys, and just like that, we are done. Look at that. Man, I hope y'all can see that, man. Look at that. Shrimp, lobster, shiitake mushrooms, a little bit of green peas, plenty of garlic. So what you want to do now, remove it from the flame. You want to remove it from the flame, and now you want to go in with some Parmesan Reggiano cheese. Kind of crumble it up in your hands. This is shaved Parmesan, and you cannot have enough Parmesan in this risotto. This is what's going to make this risotto phenomenal. And also you want to take a little bit of lemon zest and hit it with a little bit of lemon zest at the end. And man, you talking about waking up the flavor? Incredible. Much lemon zest as you can get in there. All right, and then you just want to work that in there. The Parmesan cheese, I'm not lying, the Parmesan cheese is what makes it. Oh my goodness. So now it's just nice and starchy. Man, come on, man. Come on, man. Look at that, man. Seafood risotto, man. Risotto is sexy, man. Look at that. So I'm gonna go in with a little bit more Parmesan. I'm gonna save a little bit for the topping, and I'm gonna keep working it in. So I'm gonna come back. Matter of fact, we're not even going nowhere. Stay right there. We're gonna do it all right now. Look at that, y'all. I just want to give y'all a close up. Look at that. Look how sexy that risotto is. Look at that. Cheesy, Parmesan-y. Oh my gosh, y'all. Time to plate up. All right, so now it is time. It's time to plate it up, y'all. Let me get all this stuff out the way. Take you a nice bowl. Look at that cheese, how it's pulling apart. I want y'all to be able to see this, man. Right in the middle. Nice and sexy. You're putting enough in here for two. Y'all gonna eat out the same bowl, and you just make your significant other their own bowl. And man, look at that. Look at there, look at there. Take your little shrimp, top it off in the top. Man, come on, man. Look at that. Take your little bit of EVOO, hit it like that. Come back on top. I hope y'all can see this. Come back on top with a little Parmigiano Reggiano like that. If you got some parsley, come on top with a little parsley. And man, there you go. Super sexy risotto, y'all. Dinner for two. Yeah, boy. All right, y'all, just want to give y'all a close up. There you go right there, man. That's dinner for two. That is beautiful, sexy seafood risotto for two. With a little shiitake mushroom, plenty of garlic, some green onions, scallion tops, and I mean, look at that, man. So I want to thank y'all for joining me at the Rolling Grill. As always, y'all, it's all about good food, good vibes, and I'll catch y'all in the next video. Yeah, boy. All right, y'all, let me give it a little taste. I forgot to taste it. Look at that. Ooh-wee, look at that. My God. Come on, man.